Good morning. My name is Cindy. And welcome to my morning car chat. I'm running a little bit late this morning, and I'm just coming on here to say hello. And I had a little topic this morning that I wanted to run by you, my viewers. I was watching a speech by Elon Musk, and he just is a chit-chat kind of guy, which is nice, and seems like he's doing his best to find the excess spending in our government, which is good, and we'll see how that plays out, because if they find the excess spending and then they save money, what are we going to do with that extra money? Are we going to give it back to the people? That would be nice, and we'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping that's what happens. Now, the speech that I saw, he guaranteed he's not going to be taking money from retired people, Social Security or disability benefits, things like that. He's just trying to find money that is being put in places wasted, right? Okay, so we're waiting to find out how this is all going to play out. Some people are skeptical. Some people are scared, they're very scared because they don't trust anything that's going on. And some people are just like exuberant. They're so hopeful and excited about the future. And I'm a little guarded because I guess I don't trust anyone these days. I do not trust any person. And I'm a little, when we cut spending in this area, are we going to spend it on some other foolish thing that somebody likes that nobody cares about? Those results remain to be seen. But I want to talk a little bit about Elon Musk and his philosophy of education. Now, I know that down through the years we had people create, the computer. We have, Bill Gates and his computer with all of the specialty stuff, and now everybody has a home computer because of Bill Gates and his Microsoft and all that stuff. And then what about Stephen Jobs and the Apple products? And I have an Apple computer. I kind of like the Apple situation. I kind of love it and hate it at the same time because I'm always frustrated with the password situation. But I like the Apple products because they still, Max says Bill Gates stole the idea. That's what I read too. He took advantage of someone to get his name in the limelight. That's what I hear, and that's what I've read. So anyway, we have all of these things. Now, my point was that even though Bill Gates was into it, he was very careful, from what I understand. I mean, I don't know him in person, and I don't watch him in real life, but from what I've heard is that he was careful about how much his kids used computers. And same with Stephen Jobs. I've heard that in their own families, they try not to use their electronics, 24/7 like a lot of kids do nowadays. Also, I know I've taught kids in China how to speak English, and they were not allowed to use their iPads all the time. I mean, they used it obviously for classes, for learning English, but they weren't allowed to play games and video games all the time. They could only use it certain times on the weekends or when they had special vacations and breaks and things like that. they weren't allowed to use them like American children constantly. And that speaks to me that it's not really a good thing to have your phone 24/7 or any other electronic device. So, especially for children. My friend rode, wow, yes, it's true about Steve's daughter. My friend rode horses with her here in California. Wow, that's awesome. I love that. And she rode horses. Yeah, the horses are a great thing to get out in nature. And yeah, I'm not a major horse rider, but I used to ride horses as a younger child when I went to camp. So anyway, as a teenager they changed, and she did use iPhone and social media. Cool. Okay. So my point was, going back to Elon Musk, was he mentioned in this speech that, how about for school, we give everyone, all the kids, access to AI, and when they have a question, they can just ask AI. They won't have to ask their teacher. I was like, oh, that would be, I'm a math teacher, and I'm always like, ask me a question, ask any question, and then the kids say, can you do number 5? It's not really the kind of question I want them to say. I want them to say, I don't understand exactly how you do the slope of the line. What do you mean by rise over run? Like some kind of words to the question, not just, can you do that number? And so I'm trying to teach them how to ask questions. And if they just had an AI next to them, yeah, they could ask a question to the AI, but it would be too easy. They wouldn't have to really, get their brain cells moving, in my opinion. I think there are, a small minority of humans that, they might think that's really great and go with it and become geniuses by the age of 12. But I feel like they would be geniuses anyway. And I don't think it would be safe. I don't think it would be safe to put every student with an AI capability all during school to, answer their questions at school. So I was a little skeptical of that one. I'm like, Elon, you don't know real children if you think that giving them an AI is going to help them with school. It's going to make it harder for them to memorize stuff, and they won't really learn. They'll just keep asking questions and finding the answer, and I just don't see where that's going to be good for the human brain. There's a value in, number one, being quiet and learning something on your own, a value in sitting down and reading in quietness, which, a lot of homeschool moms are trying to do that because I know my daughter, it's very limited access for the computers. And at our school, we have a private school, we do not have all of their lessons on the computer. They use the computer sometimes for, typing. They'll type a paper. They might look things up here and there, but it's not constant all day long. So I think that computers have their place, but I don't think that it should take the place of a teacher. Because I think every student, even when I taught kids Chinese, we were teaching kids in China how to speak English, and we were the teachers, and there were thousands of teachers with this company, and we would sign on. We had strict rules as to how this process worked, and we were making pretty good money. And then the company just shut down, and we heard that they were going to just use AI instead. And I think AI would kind of work, but I don't think it's as fun as a real person. Knowing a real person in another country. I mean, we got to know the students. We were able to build a relationship, and that's part of being a teacher. It's not just about learning. It's about having a human interaction and human relationship with a person. And you can still do that doing, reading, writing, and arithmetic. I mean, I believe right now the teachers in public schools are maybe overreaching into the relationship thing because they're trying to influence the kids socially and emotionally and all that stuff, which I think is too much. But I think there is an element of humanity that we need to build within education. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents about the AI teacher thing, and I just don't think it's really the best. Maybe a little bit of it, I mean, having access to answer some questions, but not sitting right next to you while you're at school doing your work. I think that kids need to have some quiet time where they sit down, they do their work, they think for themselves, they process information, and they grow as a human, and they work their brain. So I don't know what you guys are talking about, but this is my morning car chat. I'm a teacher, and I've just been doing these car chats in the morning. I have friends that will come watch and comment on my videos, fellow teachers. We talk about education and teacher life, and I drive a little ways to my school, so I like to kind of have a little chat while I'm on the way to school about something maybe teacher related or something hobby related, family related, and I'm just chatting. So yeah, and I get random people joining my chat. Thank you so much for joining me. And what do you think about the AI with students? I know there are a lot of teachers that are sick and tired of the public school system and what it's doing to teachers. I mean, a lot of teachers are really getting discouraged, and they're not enjoying their jobs, and they are frustrated because the students are not respectful. They don't want to study, they don't want to learn. And what can we do about it? We have more and more administrators that are trying to put together a program and that will work, and we're putting more and more money into it, and it's not working. And I think that is clear that it's not working. And President Trump is saying, okay, fine, we're just going to abolish the Department of Education, the federal Department of Education, and just let's get rid of it. So yeah, people are going to have to find a new job, and that happens a lot in industry. If a business closes, people lose their jobs and they have to find a new one. And there are lots and lots of teachers who are quitting their jobs because they can't stand it anymore. I was just talking to my husband yesterday, and he said he heard of someone that his wife just came home from school and said, I'm done. I'm giving my 2 weeks notice and I'm out of there. I am not doing it anymore. Way back when I was in junior high, which was a long time ago, I had an English teacher that I loved. She was so organized. We had like the A track where the kids are really, really smart. We're on the A track. The B track, if you usually got B's in English, that means you can't do as much. So you got on the B track. and you could still get an A on the B track. I don't know how that works, for the whole system, but I ended up getting in the A track for math, but the B track for English. But I actually liked it because we had one vocabulary word a day for 2 weeks instead of having 20 vocabulary words a week. I couldn't memorize them all. And so I loved that teacher. She was so organized. She was so nice. But the schools were getting bad back then. And one day the students just pushed her to tears and she quit her job. And I was so sad because she was such a good teacher. And this was now so often. And teachers love school. They go to school to be a teacher. They want to teach. They love their subject. That's why they major in it. And then when they get there, the kids are just like cray. And so what are we going to do about it? We have to do something. I mean, it's within our country. We're dedicated to providing every child with an education, but you can make the kid go to school but can't make them actually learn, which is very sad. So what do we do about it? Well, Elon Musk has an idea. He says, how about we give all the kids Chromebooks right now. So how about we give them all access to AI, put an AI right next to their desk, and they can just ask the AI questions and just do their schoolwork that way. I don't think it's a really good idea. Thank you for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. My name's Cindy, and this is my morning car chat on the way to school. And I live in New Hampshire, and I kind of started the car chats to show the beautiful weather as I drive to work. And I'm a little bit late this morning. I usually am starting out probably 20 to 30 minutes sooner than I am right now. So my car chats are not usually at this exact time, but I just love the beautiful weather. And right now, I started when it was foliage and we had beautiful leaves on the trees. Now we have, it's kind of brown, but spring is coming. So I'm expecting some green to flourish very soon. And I see lots of little green poking up from the ground, even though it's been very cold. Today it's been in the 30s, and tomorrow though we're supposed to be in the 60s, and that's Fahrenheit. So those of you who are coming from far away might use the Celsius scale, but we use the Fahrenheit scale, so I'm not sure exactly. Let's see, 60 is probably 25 or something like that, 26, 27. So we're on our way to school here, and I teach math. I teach geometry, algebra 1, and 7th grade math and 8th grade math. And I do like to use videos for my classes. Like this morning, I'll be doing some geometry with circles and angles, and I found a really good video that I can show that helps the students to find the measure of the angles. When you have a circle and you have a central angle, you find the measure of the angle, you can find the measure of the arc. And then we're talking about tangents and secants and chords and things like that, and arcs as well. So yeah, I love school. School is where you exercise your brain. And right now in our country, we are sort of doing a reworking of the education system, which I think is very, very needed right now. And it's kind of at a point where we need to rework things because the scores of the students are way too low. They don't like school. They don't want to do school. And if they do school, they're not really working hard enough. Way too much fluff and not enough real important stuff. What are your thoughts on the egg shortages? Egg shortages. Eggs? That's one thing I'm hoping will go down soon as far as the price on the eggs. I've heard lots of stories about why we have egg shortages and why the prices are so high. I used to have chickens myself, and we had fresh eggs every day for a while there. And I love chickens. I love what they look like. I love watching them walk around my yard. This is the time of year people who love chickens will get a fresh new batch of chicks. I absolutely love chickens, and but they are a lot of work. You got to be willing to get up, go out there, feed them, keep their cage clean, and sometimes they draw in unwanted critters. That's kind of the last straw for me. When I started seeing unwanted critters coming after my chickens, I was raising my chickens for the wildlife to come eat them, so then I just got rid of them. But what do I think about the shortages? I think that it seems to me there's no good reason for it, because we can just hatch more chicks. I think we need more chickens. People need to have their own backyard chickens, and we need to be more self-sufficient so that we're not slave to what other people do. But I did go to the store last week. I go to shopping at Aldi's, and Aldi's did not have any eggs. Usually Aldi's is a place where the milk is lower priced and the eggs are lower priced, and so it's a really good economical place to go. But they weren't just up in price, they were none. So I asked my husband to stop and get some because he works near a BJ's. So what do I think about it? I think we need to fix the problem and get more people to raise their chickens and get over this ridiculous thing of not having enough eggs. In America, I think there's no excuse for it. We should have plenty of eggs. Eggs, you get some chickens, they lay eggs, we're done. BJ's is a store that has, it's like a club store, not like a regular grocery store. So that's where I stand on that, is let's fix the problem. That should be an easy problem to fix. So I know lots of people that have chickens, and I love fresh eggs. They are awesome. It was funny when we first got our chickens, my kids didn't know anything about chickens, and they were kind of afraid to eat the first egg that we got. So I just made a batch of brownies. I said, everybody's gonna eat the first egg from our chickens. But after that, we were good. We figured it out, and we got going on a very fun adventure with chickens. We got several chickens. I learned not to take chicks from any random person, because we got chicks from one person one time, and I don't know how to tell the difference. Is it a hen or not? And we ended up, out of that batch, we got like 7 roosters. And so I had to have my friend cull the flock because we had too many roosters. They were all fighting with each other. They were attacking the children, and we had to get rid of the roosters. And my son really hated that. He was very upset about it, but it's like we couldn't handle it. And so they became soup. So I decided from then on I would just pay a little extra and get the chickens from, there's a catalog called Murray McMurray, and you can buy your chickens right from the catalog, and they come in the mail to your post office, and you pick them up and you have chickens, baby chicks, any kind you want. Or you can go to your local, have chickens in the spring, usually around Easter is a great time, everybody loves them, and you can buy them then. So you buy your own chicks from someone who knows these are hens, not roosters, and then you raise them yourself, you know, but they still cost money because you got to have a place to house them, you've got to have the feed, you've got to keep it clean by, like, you know, whatever you want to do for the bottom, either hay or shavings. And then you have to, if you go somewhere, you know, if you go away for a week, you're going to have somebody take care of them. So that's another responsibility. So when I got rid of the chickens, it was like, I'll just pay someone else to do all that work. I'll pay a little extra. But I did love having them. I love them even as pets. They're just awesome. So thank you. This is why I just want to buy eggs from the store, not accidentally buy 7 roosters. Yeah, exactly. It was terrible. My son cried when he found out that we had to cull 7 of our roosters. But they were brutal. They eat the kids. I'd be like, go outside and play. And they're like, the roosters are attacking us. And so we had to take care of that situation. They are also very noisy. Even if you have one rooster, they are very noisy. They wake, sometimes they can crow all night long if you live near where there's light, because they see the light and they think it's day no matter what. So it looks like there's a lot of trucks right now with trailers, and people are starting to do their spring cleanup even though it's still freezing cold. It's April 2nd. It's time for spring to make an appearance. I see a little bit of green grass as I'm driving along, and every now and then I see little signs of flowers coming up, so that's good. All right, well, thank you so much for coming to my video. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day where you're at. I hope the weather is nice, and yeah, post below, let me know where you're from and what's the weather like where you are. Maybe some eggs on the trailer. I don't know. I didn't see any. I see some blue trash bags on the side of the road. That means that people have gone through and picked up trash, because that's what happens too, is crazy people will throw trash during the winter months, and then in the spring all that trash has to be cleaned up. It's kind of, and I still see lots of trash still left, which is unfortunate. It's supposed to be against the law to throw trash on the side of the road, but people still do it. All right, thank you for coming. We'll see you next time. Oh, it's 55 and kind of cold, but it's 5 a.m. Well, good for you to get up early. Watch the sunrise. Enjoy your day. All right, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.